Yes, fight fans, body and mind, sports, my people. You are fully appreciated in this round, my guys, my people. Um, First, I want to say, I did say that Zuffa boxing is a real threat, didn't I? Even in the midst of Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya downplaying, the first few small shows that Zuffa has actually put on. Even in the midst of all of that, I could see the threat. I could see the threat, my guys, my people. Um, but even in the midst of all that, and Eddie Hearn and Dana White having their war of words, nobody would have predicted that Dana White next was just gonna go straight for the jugular from a war of words and then jumping up going straight for the jugular. This man is an absolute maniac. He is not here to play. He is not here to play, my guys. My people, from when he's gone to sign Connor Benn, taking him away from Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and directly into Zuffa boxing. Man, oh man, if that is not a real show of power, if that is not a real show of power to let the old establishment know that we're not here to play. We're not the sweat box, all right, that Oscar De La Hoya describes our shows as, the first few small shows. We're not the ring for the fighters that was put together by a local handyman, as Eddie Hearn described Zuffa Boxing's first few shows, right? They are not that. They are, in fact, the new kid on the block, the future, and they are building from ground up, right? And they are backed by the biggest power brokers in the sport, Turkey Al Sheikh, TKO, in combination with Dana and Zuffa Boxing, my guys, my people. You don't get stronger than that. You don't get stronger than that. And this latest move is a show of power to show that, look, to improve ourselves, to make us grow, we are going on a raid, and we are going to raid any one of your stables. You old establishment promoters, we are here to raid every single one of your stables, my guys, my people, and let's see what you can do about it. The challenge, the gauntlet, has been laid. It has been laid, my guys, my people. So Eddie Hearn, he has to rise up and take up this challenge. After all, was he not the one that challenged Dana White? Seeing as Dana White is seen as an intruder in the sport of boxing, my guys, my people. He was the one that said, yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. Me and you, in mano, basically. So Dana White is saying, okay, let's dance. Let's dance, my guys, my people. But first of all, I just want to say this is the ultimate act of betrayal, here from Connor Benn. There's no other way to put it, right? I will get into that. But I'm sure Eddie Hearn could have seen this coming, because Dana had already tried to sign Bam Rodriguez. And Eddie was only able to hold on to Bam only because he was able to match Dana's offer. So if Eddie couldn't read from that at that point, albeit in the world of traditional boxing, in the field of traditional boxing, the contracts may seemingly not look as restrictive as the Zuffa boxing contracts, my guys, my people. But if he has to match an offer that Zuffa boxing is offering, then that shows like that not every pasture in the field of traditional boxing is green. The fighters too want more. Even established fighters such as Bam are still looking for more. So the Zuffa boxing, they are there as an option. They are available as an option who can fill that gap, who can offer more, my guys, my people. That is a threat right away. Eddie Hearn should have started locking down everything in the stable. Should have started locking down everything, especially Connor Benn. Especially Connor Benn, my guys, my people. His best, well, his most valuable asset right now, his most valuable asset. Considering AJ, the biggest name at Matchroom, maybe we could consider Katie Taylor as well. But they are both at the tail end of their careers and both inactive, right? So who is to fill in the inactivity right now? Connor Benn, my guys, my people. And he has still a few more years of success, you know, a few more years of success and a stadium name after the 2 fights with Eubank Jr. A household name over here in the UK. I can say that almost confidently, right? But it's definitely a crossover name in the US, my guys, my people. So he's a name in himself and the most valuable thing that Matchroom has right now. So yeah, Dana has sort of gone straight for the jugular, and it's a show of power, you know, that he's here to devour anything that gets in front of him. He's ready to kill. He's ready to kill. It's kill or be killed. But Eddie Hearn, like I said, should have seen this coming. Should have locked down everybody and everything in his stable. Now, I'm going to Connor Benn. Man, after what Eddie Hearn has done for Connor, getting him through his PED case and his ban, getting him through that, Eddie Hearn taking all the backlash that came with that, even pouring money into Connor to get him through all of that, you know, money that went into the thousands of pounds, the hundreds of thousands of pounds that he loaned Connor to get through all of this, get himself exonerated, and into 2 stadium fights, you know, and into 2 stadium fights. And this is how you repay somebody that virtually saved your life and your career. Damn. Absolute betrayal. Absolute betrayal. Even though you could argue that he did it at the end of his contract, so he's not contractually obligated to Eddie Hearn anymore, my guys, my people. But still, still, god damn it, it's not like you're starving at Matchroom. It's not like you're starving at Matchroom, my guys, my people. So yeah, this is a huge act of betrayal, and Connor definitely would face some backlash for it. Obviously, though, he has done it. He's done what he felt was best for his career, right? And Eddie Hearn, right? Maybe he did aid this, you know. Maybe he did aid this final outcome, you know, because listen, Eddie Hearn, from when, you know, Connor Benn failed those 2 PED tests, right? He was already, that meant that he was in breach of his contract with Matchroom, because these fighters' contracts, their promotional contracts, they do have clauses that require that they have to abide by the strict anti-doping regulations that, you know, that govern the sport. All right, so he would have been in breach, and under those clauses, there would have been penalties that would have been required for Connor Benn to pay. In severe cases, it could nullify the contract completely. So those penalties weren't activated when they should have been activated. They really weren't activated when they should have been activated. So perhaps instead of Eddie Hearn, right, being loyal to his fighter, could we use the word loyalty? Well, we shall talk about that. But being loyal to his fighter, getting him through all of this trouble, right? Perhaps he should have been loyal to the contract instead and activated those penalties under the clause when Connor breached. Maybe he should have done that. But it came back and bit him in the arse, isn't it? It came back and bit him in the arse because he trusted Connor. He trusted Connor ultimately, my guys, my people. But at the same time, what drove him to even going through the troubles that he went through to exonerate Connor. Listen, there was a prize at the end of it all, isn't it? So he was looking for the reward, the greater reward at the end of it all, which he got with those two Eubank Jr. fights, stadium fights, my guys, my people. So Eddie Hearn has more than been rewarded. He's gotten his pay out of it, but it has come at a cost, right? But what really looks scummy from Connor's side is that if you are at least going to break away from Eddie Hearn, don't go and strengthen the hand of his arch rival, his arch enemy at this point. Crazy. It's painful. It is painful, boy. Listen, it is painful. The best Eddie Hearn can do, right, I reckon, take it on the chin, but fight back, definitely. You got to fight back. He's built to fight back, but he's definitely got to fight back. But at the same time, he shouldn't go into a war of words, with Connor or anything like that, because Eddie Hearn is somebody that deals with people as a promotion. So don't ruin any bridges. Let Connor be the one that has ruined a bridge. Let him be the one that has ruined a bridge. Because as much as he has done what is his best, what he feels is best for him, really and truly, what he's done really and truly is that he's shown his character. Now we've seen your character. As Terence Bud Crawford, most recently famous, said about one individual, I can't even remember his name, but it was on a podcast. Connor Benn has shown his character. So would Eddie Hearn still work with him after Zuffa and this betrayal, my guys, my people? Because the word is that Connor Benn's contract with Zuffa is only for one fight, my guys, my people, which means ultimately the opportunity for him to be a free agent is there after just one fight with Zuffa, my guys, my people. Would Eddie Hearn still work with him? It's going to be difficult without the trust. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. But Eddie Hearn, I would imagine, would do what he feels is best for Matchroom, which is what he has been doing all along, even if along the way he helped Connor Benn, right? He was doing what he felt was best for Matchroom all along, my guys, my people. So maybe there is no right or wrong here. In fact, there is a wrong, definitely, especially in the way that Connor did it. Didn't even give Eddie Hearn a phone call, not a voice message, not a message of any sort, which is what at least Eddie Hearn was expecting from somebody who he has had under his stable since his debut. He was expecting at least a phone call to break it. How do you deliver him to your enemy like that? To his enemy. Crazy, right? Crazy. Obviously, look, what you can see here, Connor Benn, he has looked at the money that he had gotten from the first two ring events, the Eubank Junior events that he's been in. And he has thought, okay, so Turkey has got Eddie Hearn and them in his pockets. So I'm going directly to where the money is. At that point, Eddie Hearn is looking like a middleman, all right, that is putting together the fight. A middleman between Connor and Turkey and the Ring magazine. So he's thinking, forget all of that. I'm going directly to where the pot is. I'm going directly to where the money is. And he's cut off Eddie Hearn for one fight. So it seems. That is if, of course, Dana doesn't find a way to retain him. My guys, my people. Maybe there is an extension if he wins. If he loses, wow, it may come back to bite Connor, this decision, right? Because Turkey, as we know, he is a man that is big on loyalty. And like I said, Connor, now we know your character. Turkey, who didn't like it when Richardson Hitchens, after beating George Kambosos, announced there and then in the ring that he's no longer with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, and Turkey didn't like that. Turkey was like, you better get back with Eddie Hearn, otherwise I ain't working with you. You know, Hitchens saw an opportunity there. He thought he could leave Eddie Hearn and he would be available to work with Turkey directly, the money pot, right? That wasn't the case. Connor needs to realize that Turkey has seen his character. And if he's to lose, right, Turkey, who has 40% of Zuffa, and TKO has the other 60%. So he's huge. He's Zuffa, basically. Basically, my guys, my people. And if Connor is to lose his next fight, there's no guarantee that he won't be left stranded. So I hope he knows what he's doing. It could come back to bite him, because now we know your character. My guys, my people. With that said, I hope Eddie Hearn learns from this, because Zuffa Boxing, they ain't stopping there. They are already targeting the Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury fight. They want to stage it on Netflix, my guys, my people. So they've got plans. My guys. And even though AJ, he does carry a different sort of aura about him, I don't think at all that he is cut from the same cloth as Connor Benn. He's cut from a totally different cloth. AJ is a cloth that you know, I would say Eddie Hearn trusts more than he trusted Connor Benn. All right, so he thinks AJ would not do the same thing to him in a million years, my guys, my people. Which I do believe that. But at the same time, Eddie Hearn needs to learn from this and start locking down his fighters for real. You know, with whichever resources he has to do so, he needs to start locking down his fighters, because the threat is real. My guys, my people. Let's see what becomes of Connor Benn. Who is he fighting? I'm hearing he's fighting somebody in May. Isn't the Ring magazine looking to launch their event series called The King of the Ring in May? They're looking for Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia to headline. That is if it gets past Barrios, Ryan. And Devin the Dream Haney and Keyshawn Davis as co-event as you can see, that would carry a lot of jeopardy, especially if you are looking forward in future to a Shakur Stevenson Devin Haney fight. So that would be jeopardy. And also in this fight card, they are looking for Connor Benn versus Rolly Romero, the WBA 147 champion. So maybe Connor might be fighting Romero on this planned ring event, but you will be fighting through Zuffa boxing. So it could be that Eddie Hearn is right. Eddie Hearn, he said that he thinks that this could be a plan from Turki Al-Sheikh, that Turkey has betrayed him. Eddie Hearn, who is credited for being the one for opening the doors for Turkey to enter boxing, you know, he feels betrayed, not only by Eddie Hearn, not only by Connor, you know, and who has delivered him to his enemy in Dana White, but but by Turkey as well. So it seems Turkey, who owns 40% of Zuffa. Yeah. But yeah, I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I'm thinking Rolly could be fighting. I mean, Connor could be fighting Rolly, right? So could this be a plan for Turkey to put Connor and Rolly in that planned Ring Magazine event, right? And have them fighting under well, it will be an in-house fight at that point, isn't it? Because Turkey owns 40% of Zuffa, so it's a win-win for Turkey at that point. So is this a plan all along? Is it a plan? Is it a plan for Turkey to finally destabilize and try to crumble all the old establishment promotions that he has been tied with, you know, doing major events together? Has that time come, my guys, my people? A lot of deep questions that are there to be answered, but we shall find out. We shall find out. Very interesting as well that this has come at a time when Eddie Hearn has extended his deal with Dazn by 5 years, and to lose their most valuable fighter at this moment, who is Connor Benn, is crazy. How is that going to go with Dazn, eh? How is that going to go with Dazn? Eddie Hearn, who's looking to do more in the US market now as well, so he's really trying to drive things forward in a real big way in the US. Man, and Connor with the US reach now as well. And he's still got Ben Whittaker though, for sure. Maybe Zuffa could be approaching Ben Whittaker. Who knows? Who knows? And Ben Whittaker, he is known now that when he gets tough at a promotion, like he got tough with Boxer and Ben Shalom, he went straight to Matchroom. He went over to Matchroom, my guys, my people. So it's interesting what's going to happen. It's interesting. But things with Dazn and Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, it must have been great in their first term. It must have been great because they've got the extension, haven't they? They have got the extension. But listen, even with Dazn, of course, this Connor situation is a loss to Dazn as well, right? It's not a loss to Turkey though, even though Turkey has stakes in Dazn. So where is Eddie going to turn? Turkey's locked down everything. It's locked down everything. That was the plan all along. They're looking for boxing to centralize. Well, the centralization is looking like Turkey. It's looking like Turkey, my guys, my people. And with that said, That's all I have for you on this one, my guys, my people. It looks like if anybody is going to lose, it's definitely not going to be Turkey. He's going to be the only winner emerging from this, as far as I see it. But that's all I have for you on this one, my people. Before you leave, do like, do share, subscribe, of course. Drop your comments below, my guys, my people. We need to grow, and as always, my people, stay super, super blessed. And thank you once again for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed, my guys, my people.